Sorry about that. Better late than never showing up. You heard?
Yeah.
This is Conservative Cipher. On the ones and thank you for coming. Thank you for popping up. Thank you for showing us love. We're here on the ones and twos. This is a Conservative Cipher. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're here where we separate the truth from the narrative. Appreciate you taking your time. I am your host, Sazzo. Thank you for rocking with us. We just getting started. And we here. I'm here with my co-host, Joski Loves.
Yeah.
Yo, Joski, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much, bro. Time to stay out of the cold.
Oh, my bad. Camera going crazy. Okay, so trying to stay out the cold.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, there's a lot of snow. Where we at, bro?
that Island Park Hill.
You already know. You already snow.
28 inches of snow.
Man, we had a lot of snow this week, man. Seriously. A lot of snow this week. But, you know.
Yo, I was in I went through in Manhattan down through Chelsea, where Chelsea Park at. And it was no snow.
It wasn't no snow?
No, not like on Staten Island.
Cold-blooded. You know why, right?
Why is that?
Because we sent all our snow and we sent all our Department of Sanitation over to them.
Facts.
Cold-blooded.
It don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense at all. Thanks.
I'm talking about on the like the side. They never had no lot of snow like we got, bro. They don't got Staten Island got the most snow. Definitely.
For real? You think so?
Definitely.
Man.
I posted it on TikTok.
That's what they were saying online. Like we What's up? What's up? What's going on? This is Sazo, and this is the Conservative Cipher. Once again, where we separate the truth from the narrative. Today, we have a great video by rather new channel, um, Vic Influential. Definitely shout out this channel. I like it. A lot of good conversation, great content, especially outside of America. Um, and this topic of conversation that they're having is about basically Nigerian culture and are they looked at as scammers by the world? It's I was looking at a little bit of it before, and it was definitely eye opening. Um, Seeing that it's not just us that look at Nigerians, not just America specifically. Speak for myself. That look at Nigerians as scammers, even though I have a lot of great Nigerian friends. I also got a lot of friends, Nigerian friends who about that life. So so you definitely gotta consider those things as well. But if you just listen to the conversation, it brings out a lot of um thought provoking, critical thinking. Um And I will just, I just want to share this information with you guys because a lot of people just put Africans all in the same category, just categorize them as Africans when there's a whole bunch of different countries, different nationalities, different cultures in Africa, different cultures. And they're going to get a lot into that. Going to express a lot about specific cultures. And yeah, this is a great one. So let's get into it.
To get money.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about that. Nigerians globally, they are top notch on that. Even American rapper Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, is planning to do a whole documentary on Hush Puppy.
They are so intelligent in that. But they will never go and then leave that fraud, scamming, and money laundering and all that.
Different African countries that are found everywhere you go. Nigeria, of course, was the first on the list. Recently, when they were evacuating people from Ukraine, we saw Nigerians. I was like, why would someone be in Ukraine?
Is there any European
What is there to
country
steal
you
in
cannot
Uganda?
get their passports?
Of course, no.
Then
But
why
what
do
are
you
you
need-
What
using
is
the
special
passport
about
for?
Uganda?
No, this is what we're trying to say. What are they using the passport for? Is the
Is there
problem.
any
To help
European
Uganda.
country
No,
you cannot get their
you're not
passports?
helping us by
What?
scamming in the country without
asking you.
passport.
What is there to scam in
They were,
Uganda?
no, they were doing it here in UAE
No,
using
Uganda.
Ugandan
What is there to
passports.
scam in
No,
Uganda?
they're using.
That's funny. He said, "What is there to scam in Uganda?" That's not the. I mean, I don't think that's the question that you should be asking them. That kind of actually reflects that you're going there for scamming. I would say, and then like, okay, like what is there to scam over there? But I'm not trying to assume that he's a scammer, but it just sounds like it by that question.
Both said that the embassy here in the Ugandan embassy here in UAE stopped issuing passports to Ugandans just because of Nigerians.
Mr. Vic Show. Okay, I like how it's starting. Where truth gets uncomfortable.
To show where truths get uncomfortable. This is not a friendly conversation, and this is not a safe space for lies. Here we confront culture, relationship, money, gender, and real life exactly the way people discuss it off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have 6 panelists, different mind, different background, and one rule. Just say it the way it is. And if you are easily offended, I guarantee you this show is not for you. I am your host, Mr. Victor.
I like that. You know what I mean? I definitely like that because that's how I like the political correctness could go out the window. It doesn't have to be politically correct. I think, matter of fact, some of the worst conversations are happening in safe places where you have to be politically correct.
Let's get uncomfortable. Welcome, everybody.
You.
Thank you.
Yes, we are. Everywhere is calm.
Nah, everywhere is not calm. We're
Son
ready
of
for the
God.
game, you know?
I hope you're all right.
Everything is on point.
And I definitely will be chopping this up a little bit, you know, to get to, you know, some of the points, because I'm sure they're gonna drag for a little bit, but you know, we'll get through it.
Point.
Roots, you're all right. Yeah. And Sabina,
Perfectly.
all right. Mr. Mike,
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good.
and Morena, Princess Morena.
I'm okay.
Yeah. So we have 2 Nigerians, 2 Ugandans, and 2 Ghanaians on the show today. And we are going to talk about it, what African country dominates hustle culture globally. I will say it's Nigerian. So I will leave it to them. And I will start with my very good friend from the far right.
Except from the far right. Okay, so you know now far right does not just exist in America. I would say he's a conservative.
Mr. James,
Yes, my
what
boss.
African country do you think dominates in hustle globally?
Oh, actually, not two ways.
No,
about it.
I will let everybody know, sorry to cut you, that everything you're going to say, I'm going to fact check it in real time. So there is no point lying. Just like I said, this is not a space for lying. This is not a safe space for lying. So
No, no.
everything you say, I'm going to fact check from XAI.
In terms of business, right? I'm not going to dispute the fact Nigerians are dominating.
Hustlers.
Just hustlers, yeah. So any hustling field, business, anything, as you know, Nigerians are doing. When it comes into fraudulent activities, a business, they are on top of it. When it comes to let's do anything to get money,
Yeah.
there's no two ways about that. Nigerians globally, they are top notch on that. You get my point very clear. No, you see, when I say some of these things, people think I hate Nigeria. It's not hate. I'm just letting people to know the real attitude of Nigerians outside.
And
You get my
fact.
point.
Yeah.
So if in hustling grounds, if Nigerians are hustling out there,
Yeah.
I give respect to them,
Mm.
to their work, but they should make sure the things that they are doing is not going to dent the name of the country.
Yeah.
As we already know that some of the fraudulent activities, names like the Hash Papi, Cubana Chief Freeze, all those kind of people don't know the work that they are doing, but they're having money.
That makes sense. Of course. I you know, I tip my hat to you. You know, if you're a hustler, you getting it, you take care of your business. But all money ain't good money. I think that's what he's saying. All money ain't good money. Not just because it's green mean it's coming from a good source or good place. You know, to be frank, that, and I believe that. I could wholeheartedly agree with that, 100%.
Be
People-
hustling.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Not people. Say you don't know.
Okay, that is when is your time? When is your turn?
when you say
How-
Cubana Chief
when
Freeze,
is your turn?
no,
When is your
me-
turn?
me, you
Bring
need
out your object.
no, you need to give
See,
informed.
you see,
informed-
keep on
Mr.
interjecting.
Mr.
concepts.
Mike,
So when
Mr. Mike, Mr. Mike, just allow him to speak. When he's
No, my name is James Kojebepa from Ghana, and mostly I'm more active on TikTok, and my TikTok name is @James_S. Then the name is Son of God. I don't want this
Also
conversation to be a
defend.
clash of titles.
No, no,
You
no,
get
no.
my
Just
point?
allow
Okay,
him to
that's
speak.
fine. That's fine.
Just
yeah,
let me
just
speak.
allow him to speak.
Okay.
You get my point very clear. Allow me to tell people what is going on the grounds, right?
But you should not accuse people doing the.
That is very wrong.
You
That
see-
is that
you
is
see, let me tell you
See that? I guess they will be the left in this whole situation. They will be considered the liberals. How you gonna ask people about or make a claim that Nigeria is number one, the best, and then when somebody says yes, I can agree with you, but it's not just one attribute. There's many different attributes when you have to consider that question. You saying Nigerians are the best hustlers, right? Yes. Legal, or are we talking about legal or illegal? If we're talking about legal, no. If we talk about illegal, yes. Oh, well, illegal, no. If we're talking about a combination of both legal and illegal, yes. Then they can be considered the best in Africa. And that's his opinion.
People,
Uninformed comments.
Nigerians, people hate the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody
Nigerians said the truth, or
No,
people generally heard the truth?
no, like people, especially Nigerians.
Okay.
You know, when anytime I pass on information here, I want people who reason more than who can rack their brains, do research, to come under the comment section and like attack me.
And you
No,
say Nigerians
I'm
cannot do
coming.
that?
Let me start. No, Nigerians don't have the sense to do that.
Okay.
You know, you see, let me tell you something. You said I say things that is not on grounds, right? Or fact. No, the whole world, everybody know Hush Puppy. Even American rapper Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, is planning to do a whole documentary on Hush Puppy, on how he was arrested, how he engaged in fraudulent activities, even in UAE here.
That's true. Everybody know Hush Puppy. Everybody don't know Don Cote. Think about it. Do you know who Don Cote is? No. Probably running to Google right now to try to figure out or find out who he is. But everybody know Hush Puppy, especially in America. A lot of people know Hush Puppy. Not everybody, but a lot of people know Hush Puppy. He's a big scammer. And if you don't know Hush Puppy, you know about Liberian scam. Nigerian scam, 419, things of that nature. And it's the people, it's not everybody, but the small group of people who do that, or the people who do that are so loud about it, are so loud that it leaves a bad name on a country.
Right? So if I say you are hustling, but let your hustle be a dent-free hustle, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Now, even you yourself, there was a banter between Burna Boy and Cubana Chief Priest. Now, Burna Boy attacked him on X, asking what he should tell people the kind of business he's doing. He said, I'm into real estate. Where did you get the money to do real estate? That is the question. People might see you are doing business all over, up and down. Where did you get your source of funding? That is the question.
So you've asked your question, which
That's a legitimate question. I mean, I don't see what's the problem with that. That is a legitimate question because that's probably the difference between here and there, America and Nigeria. Because you know, fraudulent activity, I can't really say that right now based upon everything that's going on in our country. But usually when you do fraudulent activity, it's picked up. SEC is investigating you once them transactions go over 10,000. You know, you're being investigated by FBI. You know, the fraudulent activity, the type of loud life you're living. But does Nigeria have those type of resources to investigate that type of fraud? Do they investigate that type of fraud?
to let the Nigerian to answer?
Yes,
Is that
they
right?
should answer. They should answer.
Okay.
So in terms of hustling field, I give it to them. Kudos to them on that.
Yeah.
But they should make sure they are doing clean work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clean.
Okay. Thank you so very much. I've not been caught, but
No,
I want to quickly.
he made his statement
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the fact that Ghana is a dent-free country.
Yeah, Ghana is a
This guy's I mean, what do they call it? It's not a genuine conversation because I guess any accusation, or I mean, it wasn't really an accusation, but the way this guy follows up, he gives them what they want. If you say I'm saying that Ghana doesn't have issues or Ghana's not a dent-free country, or Ghana doesn't have his group of people who are doing things. No, I don't think he's saying that. I'm just saying that Nigeria is known for, across the world, for scamming. God damn it.
dent-free country.
Okay.
No, you see.
Okay.
You see.
Continue. Let him answer.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Mr. Son of God, right? That's what you prefer to be called, right? Son of God.
So, son of God.
Okay, Mr. James. Sorry, Mr. James. All right. Just to set the perspective very straight, you said that, just to reiterate what you said that Nigerians think you hate them, but you do not hate them, right? Well, I'm not sure that any Nigerian will care about whether you hate them or like them, because that doesn't maybe add up to them, all right, to start with. Now, you mentioned about real estate for Cubana Chief Priest. So this makes me believe that you don't even know who he is, what he does, all right, and where he's coming from, okay?
But you see, that's what you mean, like that. Come on, that's nonsense. He didn't say he. He said Burner Boy, who's a fellow Nigerian, asked him specifically, where you getting this money to do real estate? And the whole world seen it. The whole world seen the back and forth between Burner Boy and this other guy. So that is what he's talking about. For every, I think legitimate question that he's proposing is a personal attack on him. Instead of answering the question, it's like a deflection.
Now, you were driving us a bit out of the concept, out of the topic, to say that Nigerians are hustlers. However, they are into fraudulent business. Okay. So it was simple to say African nations that are hustlers. All right. First of all, I'm going to give it to all African nations that they hustle so well. All right. And I'm very proud also to be a Nigerian to say that if you talk about entrepreneurship, talk about hustling spirit, we have it top notch. Okay. I am not disputing the fact to say that there are no people that are into one activity or the other that are not supposed to be. All right. But what I will not accept also from what you've said, from your analysis, is to say that if we want to make money, we should make money in the clean way. Like, are you advising Nigeria? From what morals, from what perspective are you advising Nigeria actually?
Or even the people that you are seeing presently in the UAE?
My name is Chima Michael. I'm Nigerian. My social media handle, TikTok is Samike. Facebook is The Michaels. Instagram is The Michaels as well.
You see something. If you listen to him very carefully, listen to him attentively, what he's saying. You know something. I don't give a fuck about whatever they are thinking about me or whatever I'm saying. I don't give a. If you believe it, take it. It's your own cup of tea. It's your own problem, right? But what I'm trying to tell people out there, especially my Nigerians, I always tell them my uncle is a Nigerian. So anytime I'm talking about Nigerian, I know what I'm talking about. You are not the only Nigerian. My uncle is a Nigerian, and his name is Charles Zofa.
It's like a white person saying, "I'm not a racist. I have a black friend."
Go. That is how you say.
Yeah. You see how similar. Oh, snap. You see how similar leftists argue? I don't care where you're at, America, Europe, China, Africa. It don't matter. He didn't say that at all, but his response was, oh, I have a white friend. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's saying that. He's not saying it from a place of hate. He's saying it from a place of logic. He's looking at it on a worldview. Everybody think when it comes to Nigerians, everybody think that they be scamming, man. That's just what it is, bro. You go to any of these places, and it kind of reflects bad on Africans because it's like, it makes it look like all Africans, because like I said, people don't really look at Africans as individual countries and different individual cultures. When you think about slavery, they just think everybody in Africa kidnapped slaves and sold them to white people, to the white man. That's the worldview of Africa, right? That's the worldview of Africa. But in Africa, everybody didn't kidnap slaves. Everybody didn't sell slaves. Only certain tribes did. See what I'm saying? So in Nigeria, it might be the case in hand that all tribes don't scam, right? But it's so much of a culture in scamming. It's so known around the world. People are banning Nigeria. It's like, yo, you see it. You see the Ghanaians, they want the Nigerians out the country right now because of all the things that's going on. You see it. Go on TikTok and look up Nigerians in Ghana, Nigerians in Uganda. It's like coming off as a culture. And that's what I think he's addressing rather than it being individuals or I just hate Nigerians. No, he's saying that you guys have a culture, or from the world is looking at it, that you guys have a culture of scamming.
That's your own problem.
No, I say it's like your reference.
Good. But I am telling you,
If his uncle is a Nigerian,
that is what I'm telling you. My uncle, anything that I'm
the
saying,
mother is also
meaning
Nigerian.
anything that I'm
Okay,
saying,
okay. So if it's uncle, I didn't want to
Meaning-
interrupt him, but seeing that
Meaning-
people are commenting, so if your uncle is Nigerian, what does it add?
no, I'm trying to tell you that even if I'm saying something about Nigerian,
It's not because
my
you hate them.
uncle is a Nigerian, so it doesn't stop me from telling the truth.
Yeah,
No.
it's
So
just-
you're not the
no,
only person. No,
see-
no. How do I see Mike attack on my words or my speeches? I say to be shallow-minded. Shallow-minded in the sense that he just talk, he don't research. And he just say things that he has no idea of, because I am saying things about Nigeria. And before you attack somebody or you attack someone's words, you need to be like someone who rack his brain, someone who reasoning beyond every reasonable doubt, and someone who can bring out facts and figures, not in the name of I'm defending Nigeria, and I will not sit down for somebody to dent the name of Nigeria. Once you know yourself that what the person is saying about Nigeria is fact, and it's out there for people to know that this is what the person is saying is real. Yeah, so I think he need to open his horizon, go beyond every reasonable doubt. When somebody says something, sit on his ass, research, and then come out with proper attacks or proper defense.
I can agree to that. Because I think as a simple Google search that'll show you, what type of, how the worldview of how people see Nigeria. As much good people that there are there are a lot of people who's doing a lot of bad stuff in the country and abroad, internationally. Like it's on a different level. The scams, the love scams, that stuff didn't originate in the West Indies. The West Indies, I just seen they got the Jamaican scam music. That's crazy. Look that up. Go check that out. Jamaican scam music. But it's like I said, it's a worldview. That's how the world looks at them right now. And these are their neighboring countries. So even in neighboring countries are having a situation where they're being bombarded by Nigerians who are scamming.
You getting your source from?
Okay, fine. Is Hash Papi a Nigerian or not a Nigerian?
What does Chief?
No,
what does
answer my
what does
question.
Cubana
He's a
Chief Priest
Nigerian.
do?
I am asking you a question.
What
He's a
does
Nigerian.
Cubana Chief Priest
Just
do?
answer the question.
No, you
see the
no,
problem I'm having with you.
No, it wouldn't
No.
go that.
And they say Hush Papi was the biggest. Like he's the top dog, but I don't think he's the biggest. The biggest, we can't even see the biggest. That's the truth. Like we don't even know who the biggest is, because the biggest is out there still operating.
That way.
Is Hash Papi a Nigerian or not a Nigerian?
What does Cubana Chief?
He's a Nigerian. Continue.
Good. Where is he now?
He's doing
in
time.
He's doing
prison.
time
He's
where?
in prison.
So is there no
If
any
you say
Ghanaian doing
no,
time?
no,
Is there
no,
no
no.
any Ghanaian doing time?
No.
Let's show the
No.
viewers.
He's in prison.
No.
Is there no
Okay,
Ghanaian doing
no.
time?
I think you guys have to answer him straightly.
You
And
see,
then
Why?
you-
Why?
because
Why?
he's-
Why?
We
I
are
said he's
doing
doing
you.
time. I
Why?
said he's
No,
doing
you a
time.
question
Mr.
and-
You don't
Why-
have to answer. You don't have to answer a question with a straight answer. That's the problem. Just admit what we're talking about so we can move on. But there's always going to be an argument because it's ego and pride compared to the truth.
Should we answer him?
We are
straight?
doing a show that
Yeah.
people want to get information, right?
So you
now,
answer and
let
then we
us
go.
have
No,
a
how
good
much
conversation.
what contribution does it have in this subject matter?
We are talking. So you
said
know,
we
Hash
are,
Papi,
no,
you
you
saw-
said we are
okay,
giving
fine.
information,
no,
right?
So, okay,
You said
fine.
we are giving information.
Okay, if Hash
So
Papi
what
is not having any
contribution?
contribution,
Yeah.
he asked me a question.
Okay,
He asked me a question,
okay,
and I give kudos to Nigerians that they are doing their best out there.
okay,
And I said, when it comes to Africa,
okay.
I'll give round of applause to Nigerians because
you.
they're excelling on the business grounds.
We love you too.
But it's supposed to be on a clean field.
yeah, so meaning that we don't do it on a
Right.
clean field.
And I am not the
Exactly.
only
Yeah,
person.
okay.
I am not
Let
the
you
only
have to
person.
allow him
Okay.
to explain
No,
why
he has
he's saying
already
that.
explained. He said we don't do it on a clean field. All
So
right.
are
That
you
is what he
done?
said.
Are you done?
He mentioned,
Are you done with
he
your
mentioned Cubana
explanation?
Chief
That
Priest.
is where he's
He
done.
mentioned
That's what
Hush
you're saying.
Puppy.
That's where you're
I
saying
want,
this, right?
now-
what I want you to do is that just
Okay.
allow him to speak when it's your turn.
Okay.
Don't interrupt him.
No, but we've
Let
been
him
allowing him to
continue.
speak.
I gotta give Nigerians, gotta tip my hat for this. It's two big things that Nigerians are very big in. One is there a lot of them. They say 1 in 4 black people are Nigerians. 1 in 4 black people on the planet are Nigerians. If you count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 Nigerian. 5, 6, 7 Nigerian. 9, 10, 11 Nigerian. If you count 1 in 4, that's one thing. They're big. They're big population. Big population. They are very influential across the world. Another thing where I haven't heard them bring up in this conversation is Nigerians are some of the greatest storytellers. Some of the greatest storytellers in this world. I don't mean lying. Storytellers. They do hold a lot of history. They do have a lot of history. So actually, it's 3 things. The third thing would be Nollywood. Nollywood. Since I was a kid, Nollywood was a big thing, man. Like the Beyonce versus Rihanna. Ooh, Jim Ike. Boy, oh boy. Nollywood. Nollywood, I think, was the 3rd biggest film industry or the 2nd biggest film industry in the world. You imagine? They produced so many movies and they made so many movie stars and so many billions of dollars. That's why Nigerian movies, it kind of birthed their music industry. They have a crazy big music industry. That's another thing. They're great musicians, great artists. They have a long history in music. But specifically in Nollywood, a lot of people didn't grow up watching African movies. I did. My family did. That's a thing. That was definitely like 10 years ago. Now people still watch African movies. They just watch it on YouTube, Netflix, carrying African movies. Every streaming service carry African movies now. But let me tell you, in those African movies, bro, that's where you exposed everything. That's where all of it came out, showing everything. Because if you watch African movies, especially Nigerian movies, you know the culture of scamming. You know how they operate. So now this is a disingenuous conversation. Or maybe these guys are too young to remember when Nollywood showed the world and how much people consumed African movies. That's the thing. Like we seen it, buddy. I mean, we seen all of it. We seen all of it. People who was watching African movies. Ramsey, come on. Genovese, come on. The Oma, come on. Legendary, yo, I'm talking about big actors. Like, yeah, we in New York, we in America. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know because a lot of people don't know. But if you know, you know, man. If you watch African movie, you see what was that 419 was about. Stop playing. So now you're gonna act like, oh no, that's not what it is. People getting scammed all over the world. South America, North America, Canada, the West Indies, Asia, Europe, Australia. Everybody know. Everybody know. That's how everybody see Nigerians as scammers. I'm just being honest with you, my brother. Just being honest.
You know, but
Well,
yeah,
I want to
Messi's
speak.
point
So
already.
no, you
Yeah,
see,
what does he? What else does he want you to
no,
say?
Hello, my name is Ruth Namaganda Mutirabula. I'm Ugandan Tanzanian, raised in Uganda. My social media handles all use my three names. Namaganda Ruth Mutirabula on Facebook, Namaganda Ruth Mutirabula at TikTok, Namaganda Ruth Mutirabula on Instagram. Yes, I have a YouTube, but I'm not so active there.
Okay, so given the question you just asked,
Yes.
yes, I would say Nigeria. Number one, not only a Nigerian, so many. Like
Mm.
I recently just made a joke at work with someone. We're talking about different African countries that are found everywhere you go. Nigeria, of course, was the first on the list. Recently, when they were evacuating people from Ukraine, we saw Nigerians. I was like, why would someone be in Ukraine?
They are everywhere.
It's a hustle culture. So I would literally give it to them. For me, as a Ugandan, like I would give it to them on that particular topic.
Mhm.
He said something that maybe I want to correct. My name is Maureen. I am from Uganda and I use Her Majesty Maureen on all my social media handles. YouTube, it is a podcast, Dine with Her Majesty Maureen. Then Instagram, Her Majesty Maureen. Everywhere, Her Majesty Maureen. You said Nigeria, it is the one of the dominating
oh, in terms of business across group, across
globally.
yeah,
In
because
Africa or
No,
no,
Africa.
he's asking about African countries
Africa.
that they are hustling outside.
oh,
That's why I said Nigerians are dominating. And okay.
Do you have
No, no,
any doubts, Maureen?
yeah.
Well, first of all, when we talk about that hustling and money, and you talk about Nigeria, one thing that comes in my mind is scamming. I'm sorry, guys. Yes.
Yeah. No reason to be. There's really no reason to be sorry. It's just the worldview. It's the worldview. Not to say that that is exactly what's going on everywhere and especially there. No, it's just the worldview, how the world sees. It's how the world sees Nigeria. To be honest with you, it's interesting. Man,
Yeah,
One of
definitely.
the things that comes in my mind is scamming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think I was even once scammed by a Nigerian guy. Anyway, we won't go in that. But, well, they are actually, it is one of the country that is really making money. Even currently, when you see social media, like, okay, when we talk about the scamming part, I feel like these guys are literally creative
Yeah.
because they're even eating up social media
Yes.
currently. So I'll also go with Nigeria.
What I feel about the statement that was firstly said by Maureen to say that Nigerians are scammers, I would say, first of all, Maureen is one of us. You know, she's an African. She's also a sister to us. So when I asked her, when I delved into the question to ask her, why did you say so? She said she has been scammed one time by a Nigerian. All right. So I would not fault her because people react. At the end of the show, she was able to understand that she was scammed by one Nigerian does not make all Nigerians scammers.
So, but scamming is the first thing that comes.
that's the part. It's like not saying that. Just saying the world looks at you as scammers. Know that everybody doesn't scam there. But how the world looks at you, like how they view African Americans, lazy, baby mama culture, violent, cursing, disrespectful, fighting. That's the worldview of African Americans. Sorry. It's the worldview of black people from America. That's how the world looks at us. As it might not as it might not be as true because there's a little pocket of people who create all these problems. It's not really the overall culture of African Americans or black people, Americans, black Americans, I'll say. But the worldview is that what people see of us. That's just what it is. Exactly. Until that changes. And the same issue we have, like same issue we have with them, right? Same issue not we have with them, the same issue that they have through their major product that's out produced and sold to the world, which is Nigerian cinema, right? Nollywood. Everything that was in the Nollywood movies is what people believe. Just like everything that's in the products that movies and stuff that's sold by African Americans, people believe it. People believe it. Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, Juice, New Jack City. People believe that that's all black people who from the outside looking in.
To your mind
Yeah, those guys.
when you're seeing them everywhere all over social media. So how is it that scamming comes to
social
mind
media
first?
thing, it
Okay,
is-
just let me come in. Me too. I would say Nigerians. Okay, my name is Sabina, and I'm a Ghanaian. My TikTok handle is Sexy Security. You can search for me and follow me for more. When it's
But don't say scamming, please.
no. Just hold on. Just hold on. Why you afraid? Why you afraid?
No, nobody's afraid.
No.
Why you afraid?
Nobody's afraid.
Not afraid.
No.
Not afraid.
How can they be afraid? Afraid of what?
Yeah, because
No, afraid
Her
of what?
opinion.
it's much
That's
that
true.
What is
you are
No,
into-
it's
you are
true. The
into-
scamming is there. We cannot all lie about it.
every country scams?
money
Yes.
All right,
is
this
more
going a little,
than
this going a little,
so for that one,
and I'll be here all day reviewing this video. It's a pretty long video, but you basically get the point. The worldview of Nigeria is people think they scammers. Big, like I said, big shout out my Nigerians, man, my Niger people. I know the liberals gonna take this as I hate Africans, I hate Nigerians, but I mean you can't really convince them of anything. But everybody else gonna know what they mean by what they're saying. Not to say you don't love African and Nigerian people. I feel like we're all the children of God. But yeah, definitely check this out. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section, and let me know what you feel. What you think about this. All right. Now definitely get with you later. Peace. What's going on? What's up? What's up? This is Sazo with the Conservative Cipher, and we're here today, once again reviewing and revisiting this topic of do African Americans have a culture, specifically, and we're here with the Ask a Brother podcast. I'm reacting to the video that Jeff just put out with the crew from the Daily Wrap Up. It's my first time actually seeing it, but I took a little glimpse, played it for a few seconds, and I said instantly, I would like to address some of these things because I think Jeff is kind of getting into some type of pseudo intellectual science. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Had Mr. Frank Zanu on. For those who aren't familiar with this brother, this is a African gentleman. I forget exactly which African country he's from. But he's been one of the outspoken, sometimes thought-provoking guy who's kind of broken out into the space. And sometimes, yeah, he says some things that are objectively legit, true. And then he says a lot of things that's often very disparaging of the foundational Black American community here and Black people abroad in general, it seems. And I wanted to get y'all feedback about him and people like him, because when I think about, there's like 3 different Africans, and I didn't come up with this originally.
Automatically, he's like setting the tone, so people can have a preconceived notion of Frank specifically and what type of person he is compared to just actually speaking to him and listening to his argument.
Actually heard it from other Africans who were covering and talking about there's 3 types of African. The first type of is one that has a European mind. Okay. They're African on the outside, but they're European internally. Their whole
This is the part I seen earlier, and it was funny because I'm like, that's exactly what we are as African Americans. We are African on the inside, but our culture is completely American. And I think that's the distinction that Frank Zahn was trying to make, that African Americans don't have a culture. We have assimilated to somebody else's culture. That's the culture that we live in currently right now, which is an American culture. It's not the culture that we were brought here. That's not the culture that we had when we was brought here. We've removed the African traditional culture and we've embraced and assimilated into the English, Scottish, white American culture. That is the antithesis of, I guess, what he's trying to say. But the miscommunication on what I feel was that he said culture, and I think what would have been even more of a clear understanding is tribe. Because I think if you tell brothers and sisters in America here that you don't have tribes, what is a tribe? Right? You would have to ask yourself, oh, well, no, we don't have tribes here. In America, we don't have tribes. We don't have tribes. We have basically a culture that America lives by. You might have Southern culture, you might have, Eastern culture, but really is American culture. It's the same culture as white people. That's what we have here. It's the same culture as white people who've been here since the beginning of America. Black people who've been here since the beginning of America, they share the same culture. There might be little differences as far as how you walk, the type of colloquial English that you speak, but there aren't any tribes in America. The closest things to tribes that America has is gangs. Or you can say Nation of Islam. They live a different culture outside of traditional American culture. You cannot say that all Black people in America has the same culture. So we don't share a culture. I mean, you can't say that all Black people in America share one culture, right? Just like a tribe would in Africa, the whole tribe shares the whole culture. See what I'm saying? Now, Bloods and Crips, they have their same culture. If you're Blood, that's the kind of culture you live. You're Crip, that's the kind of culture you live. Your Nation of Islam, that's the kind of culture you live. God Body, those are different cultures. But it's not generally all African American. If as an African American who's not associated with any of those things, we will be typically in line with white people who have been in this country since the inception of America. But I'll let you carry on.
Mentality is that white and European anything is always superior.
That's that. You see, that is a self-esteem issue, and I mean we could get into that. He's not saying that white people are superior. Not saying that at all. That's what I mean by the pseudoscience. How could you get that from what he's saying? Or did he, or maybe I missed something that he said that white people are superior to Black people? Or their culture, they have different cultural differences that makes them better in certain categories, because you can't just look at culture as who's on top and who's on bottom. There's different attributes spread out. It's on a spectrum. Some people might be better at building than other cultures. Some people might be better at mathematics than other culture. Some people might be better at agriculture than other culture. It's attributes. It's not just because you're African and you have any type of comment on foundational Black American that you feel like you're inferior and the white man is superior. That's not true. It goes to show you that this is problematic. In my opinion, it is disingenuous. If you have the same culture as the white man and you're the Black man in America, have the same culture, to both have the same things. We get married the same way. We celebrate the same holidays. We're mostly Christians or Jews or Muslims. We share the same holidays, the same religion as the white people. We go to the same schools. We get married the same way. In Africa, or in places where there's plenty of different tribes, they have completely different customs. They do not get married the same way. They do not behave the same way. They don't celebrate the same holidays. Whether monotheistic, polytheistic, they don't have the same. And I would assume that you would know that. But let's go ahead.
To African and Black peoples anything abroad.
That's
They're
pretty.
always, hey, and this is a lot. This is a Black. You
Let me bring that back 2 seconds.
can see it in every population, every country. Their whole mentality is that white and European anything is always superior.
And this is the thing, right? Thomas Sowell breaks this down eloquently. He's saying that where African Americans got the urban ghetto culture that is so prevalent in our culture now is from white people. Eastern Europeans brought it in along with when slavery first started in America. It wasn't just slavery, it was indentured servitude, and a lot of indentured servants were white people. And they lived amongst the Africans. in the South. But we can get into that a little bit later.
To African and Black peoples anything abroad.
That's
They're
pretty.
always, hey, and it's a lot. This is a African on the outside, but they're European internally. Their whole mentality is that white and European anything is always superior.
I just can't get. I'm sorry. I continue to pause it, but I can't get it over. I can't get over it. How can you believe in white supremacy? How could you say there's white supremacy where Africans don't believe in white supremacy? They don't believe that the white people are supreme above them. So, bro, it sounds like you're projecting right now. Who really believes that the white man snow is colder? Who really believes that? If you believe in white supremacy, you believe that white people are above you.
To African and Black peoples anything abroad.
That's
They're
pretty.
always, and it's a lot. This is a Black. You can see it in every population, every country. There's Black individuals that seem to have a very European, Eurocentric mindset with everything, and that they see if it's from the white man, it's better. And the second type of African are Africans that tend to wish and attribute themselves with being a part of the Arab world, where they're constantly trying to call themselves Arab to kind of get away from the fact that at the end of the day, if they go anywhere around the world, people are going to still see them as African and Black. And then
I don't know if that's. I mean, you talk about the Somalians or the Dominican. I mean, those are people who are they're mixed. They don't operate by the one drop rule, so you can't tell a Dominican that he's Black when he's mixed. He's mixed with all different type of stuff. You know that. The South Africans, you can't say they call themselves colored people because they know they're biracial. The Somalians are mixed. They are mostly mixed with Northern East Africans. Black people usually really only come from one place. That's Sub-Saharan Africa. Black means the absence of all light. The triple stages of darkness. Be proud. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody ain't Black. I'm sorry. That's what I don't know. I think that's the issue. Everybody believes that just because you have some melanin in your skin, everybody is Black. It doesn't work like that. Only in America that we operate off the one drop rule. A person can be light as Jason Kidd and they say he's Black, but Jason Kidd, I'm not, that's the rules we operate on. But realistically, you telling me Jason Kidd and the person from South Sudan is the same? That's when you try to put Black people in a box and trying to put them in a monolith. And that's not true.
You'll hear this amongst Dominicans. I'm not Black, right? You're going to hear a lot of that too. So you got the European-minded Africans. You have the Arab ones, the ones that just only want to identify with the Arab world. And then the last one are Africans who I think have a very balanced perspective of themselves and other groups, including Foundation of Black Americans.
That's what
Frank Zanu.
It's like a supremacy complex. It's definitely self-esteem. Like, no, it's like you attacking the person rather than addressing the argument. The argument wasn't that. It wasn't an insult. It was just the truth stated by numerous African Americans that says that their culture was removed through slavery. Numerous. Thomas Sowell, W.E.B. Du Bois. They all said it. Like after beginning of slavery, the inception, 1600s, to when slavery was outlawed is 250 years. Generations. Right now, I'm a first generation African. I don't know my tribe. Think about it. My children won't know their tribe. I could find out if I do the research. But that's what he's saying. He's saying these people African people come from specific tribes that has specific cultures, traditions, taboos, female genital mutilation, uncircumcised. Those are things that, those are things that different tribes go about it in different ways. We don't have that here in America.
And a lot of Black immigrants like him, I would sense and feel that they sound like that first African who tends to have a mindset where they have a very low view and value of culture, identity, accomplishments, and contributions that have come.
I think, and that's another thing. You have to really define the definition of culture, because as soon as you stage. All right. Remove. All right. We live on set. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I know I'm sorry. I know. Let me end the stream 1 second, and I'm gonna